everyone, my name is Saba and welcome back to Living Listed, the channel where I chronicle me accomplishing various things on my bucket list and hopefully inspire you to do the same. Today I'm going to be talking about how I learned how to swim. Just barely. Swimming was never necessarily near the top of my bucket list, but I've always considered it a very useful and important skill to have. That, and in order to do all these other water activities and things that I had on my bucket list, I had to first be able to swim. I was raised by two immigrant parents. They came to this country to create a better future for me and my siblings. They gave me everything that they could, in addition to supporting me not just financially. They supported me throughout my entire, very lengthy formal education. And they created a happy and healthy environment for me to grow up in. But a persistent practice that I noticed amongst families within my culture, at least at the time I was growing up in, was that not a lot of emphasis was placed on things like fitness or the arts. Anything outside things like formal education or religious studies were often not encouraged, and in some cases discouraged. So if you wanted to learn something outside of that realm, you would have to take the initiative and learn yourself. Also, we didn't have a lot of money growing up and lessons are really expensive. So because of all of that, I never learned how to swim. Some years ago, I decided to change that and just teach myself. I found a pool. It was a university pool, and it was just a few steps away from the hospital that I was working at while I was completing my residency. So I put on literally the sexiest swim outfit that you can think of, and equipped with a bunch of YouTube videos, I just taught myself. With the help of those videos, I learned how to float and tread water and the very basic mechanics of how to do freestyle. So over the course of like around 2 months, I was able to freestyle the length of the pool. Granted, I was not very good. While during that time, my form was so poor that I actually sustained a bilateral shoulder tendinopathy, which got so bad that I was unable to lift my arms, and I still suffer from shoulder issues to this day. Getting into the specifics of my form and what caused those injuries, if you're curious, was when I was swimming, teaching myself, I was not swimming like how you should, which is parallel to the floor of the pool. I was swimming at an angle that creates a lot of resistance, a lot of strain to try and stay afloat and continue swimming. In addition to that, like I was not kicking near the surface of the water, and most importantly, well, pretty importantly, was the way my arms were moving when I was doing a stroke. So whenever I performed a stroke, I would slice through the water instead of dragging the water in front of me and keeping my elbow lifted. And when I pulled out of the water, I would drag my arm forward across the water instead of lifting the arm completely out of the water. So those were some of the things that I was doing that led to that injury, in case you were curious. So because of my injury, I quickly stopped going to the pool. And it wasn't until a couple of years later that I decided to hire an instructor.
I'm Kevin, I'm Sama's instructor for swimming.
It made a world of a difference, let me tell you. With him, I was able to go through various stroke techniques. I was able to correct my orientation and improve my form and just be more aware of my body in the water. And he helped me with breathing techniques, which is something that I still struggle with. Honestly, I only took a few sessions with this person, and I definitely don't get into the water as much as I should. I hope to change that soon. And in addition to that, I definitely hope to take a few lessons before any vacation that involves water activities. So hopefully over time I will improve. So like I said before, I still am a pretty bad swimmer. I'm afraid to stick my head underwater. My breathing technique with each stroke could use quite a bit of work, and that's okay. That's okay to me. I'm not training to be an Olympic athlete, but something that I did want to interject is this funny thing that I do. So I'll swim a few strokes and then I'll flip over and float and try and catch my breath, because like I said, my breathing technique is not very good. And then I'll flip back over, do a few more strokes, and I'll repeat that until I get to the end of the pool. I hope to get to the point someday where I can swim laps, but I just wanted to include these embarrassing clips in this video because I know I'm not very stellar at this skill or many of the other things that I've posted here on YouTube. And I wanted to show people that because people are often not made aware of the many different stages of learning, especially in adulthood, where most people don't put themselves out there, try new things, acquire new skills. And that time period where people are floundering and struggling with learning something new is often not shown. And there's this fear of being ridiculed when you're trying something new. And because of all of that, I feel like many people are discouraged from trying something new. So I wanted to post my experiences, including the not so glamorous shots of me, and show people that, and maybe instill someone with the confidence or the inspiration to pursue something that they want to, despite how embarrassed they may feel or you know, what other people say. Even though I don't swim very well, I still learned how to swim, which is a wonderful skill to have learned. For instance, I can be in a body of water and I'm now equipped with some of the tools with which I could potentially save myself from drowning. And in addition, I have been able to do some things that I would never have been able to do if I didn't learn how to swim. I have swam in the Pacific and the Mediterranean. I have learned to surf. I've swam with dolphins. I snorkeled, and I hope to do more, of course. So that was my story of how I learned how to swim, sort of, kind of. And I hope what people got from watching this video, including the somewhat embarrassing footage of myself, is, amongst other things, that it's never too late to try. You have to start out at something before you can be good. And try not to let your embarrassment ever get in the way of you doing something. After all, it's better to make an attempt than to spend your whole life wishing that you did. And chances are I'll be out there too, trying something new, and we can struggle together. And if anyone says anything negative, and I've been in that situation too, but just know that most people don't develop themselves, try something new, acquire new skills, put themselves out there. And most of those people never will, and you will not be one of those people. And let me tell you how good it feels when you try something new and actually accomplish it, or at the very least, learn something about yourself in the process. Let me know in the comments below, what is something that you've always wanted to do and what's holding you back? So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And if you're interested in accomplishing your own goals, you can have my free ultimate guide to creating and conquering your living list sent straight to your inbox. Just head over to my website and sign up for the mailing list. I have also created a course that accompanies that guide. All of that will be linked down below in the description box. Also in the description box are links to all of my socials, and just so you know, my socials are definitely not as serious as anything on this channel. So if you want to check that out, that's there. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.